Hey, this is chapter 6, one of the last segment that I'm going to talk to you about. Um, this is, let me move on to the garbage collection. I mean, what sounds kind of weird with this, but Java has what's called the garbage collection. When an object no longer is needed, they should be destroyed. So when you're done with, it's very similar to best practice that's over in C++ as well. This will free up the memory that will consume. Java handles all the memory that the operation on you. So you have to basically, this is so important in gaming world as well. So you have to clear that memory. Simply set the reference to null, and Java will claim the memory for you with it. All right. This is a programming language that you have to be able to do. So in the garbage collection, the Java virtual machine has a process to return that background of that reclaimed memory that's released in the object. So how do you do that? Well, the garbage collector will claim the memory from any of the object that's no longer as a reference pointer. So if you look at this, the way how this is created, you create inventory, and you have inventory as a wrench in 20 as a quantity, and it's assigned to item 1. Well, you can actually do item 1, assign it to 2. This sets item 1 to point to item 2, the same object for this thing. Well, what is happening in the memory with this thing is that your setting is the inventory object that has the description and the unit. Here, both of the item 1 and 2 are the same instance of that inventory class. That's what you're looking at with it. The second one is that when you actually take once you have assigned that to memory to item 2, you can set this to a null statement by just saying item 1 is the null with that. So this allows you to actually open up this item 1 inventory with this thing. And when you're done with inventory 2, you set that over to null to as well. So this opens up the garbage collection. The garbage collection reclaims the memory the next time it runs. So both of these are empty, are point to null, and now this allows you to actually open up the memory for the next one to be write to it. The next slide I want to talk about is the finalize method. If a method with a signature public void finalize, okay, with it includes in a class, it will run prior to the garbage collection reclaiming its memory. So this has a little bit more precedence when you actually put the word finalize method in there. The garbage collection is in the background that runs. It's a thread running periodically with it. Again, this is all about memory management. If you cannot determine when the finalize method will be actually run, the garbage collection collaboration between the two classes interact with each other. If other objects are collaborating with another object, it must know about something about the second method and how to call them. If we design a stock purchase that collaborates with the stock class previously defined, we define it to create and manipulate the object that actually interact with it. So you got to work, when you have two classes, make sure they work together with this, my point. The last slide is the CRC card, class, responsibility, and collaboration. Class, responsibility, and collaboration. Cards used for determining and documenting the class responsibility. The thing of class responsibility is known. The action of the class responsible for doing. So for example, the stock class in this. So you know the stock purchase, know the stock class, none stock class, and how this is being processed with it. So I just want to throw this in as the last information I want to cover with you. Hey, in the Unit 6 part, key things I need for you to know. Make sure you understand when you write an enumeration, things to study for your exam with it. So make sure you know how to write, how to declare and enumerate data type with it. So make sure you know how to do that. Make sure you understand what it means when aggregation comes in. Remember on that one slide I had, you said has a. So make sure you know what that means when an object has an aggregation to it. Make sure you understand what is overloading a method. Make sure you understand what is a method signature consists of. So it consists of the method name and the parameter list. Make sure you understand the limitation of a static method. So in other words, it cannot point to a non-static member. So static method has to point to a static field. All right. So same, remember the 4G analogy. Make sure you understand what is inner class and what inner class, how do you define inner class with this thing. Make sure you understand the deep copy. What is the process? What happens when you make a copy in aggregate objects and all the objects that references it. When you do what you're performing a deep copy. Make sure you understand a HAZA again the aggregation part of it with it. The key thing is understanding how it's the whole part relationship in that has a relationship with it. Besides what I talked to you about, it's a nesting of that UML inside that field with it, but it's a whole part relationship. You change one of them, it's going to impact all the other ones with it as well. Make sure you understand the garbage collection, okay, that the Java virtual machine periodically performs the garbage collection, removes all the unreferenced objects in the memory to loosen it up with it. Make sure you know what CRC stands for, that slide I just have on there right now. Make sure you understand enumerate type, have what type of methods, so it has, and what's called ordinal methods with it as well. Make sure you understand a case expression when you actually use a fully qualified name for an enum constant for. So when you use, in other words, I want to ask you, you cannot use the fully qualified name of an enum constant for a case expression. Okay. So just a few things. Everything else should work with it. Make sure you understand when to use this. Okay. So this, using that variable this is the first statement in your constructor with it as well. Make sure you understand the how to access this access specifier for when you access a static member. All right, with it, a static field is created by placing a keyword static in front of it. So what happens when you actually have it's after an access specifier before the field data type. Okay, so make sure you understand that. Let's see what else I could tell you. Enum, just a whole bunch of questions on enum you need to know. You need to be able to write an enum, compare the two enum data type value. How do you write that? Okay. What are the two? So it's equal and compare to. What else? Make sure, again, aggregate. I can't stress enough about aggregation with this thing. Make sure you understand. I'm going to give you some multiple choice and ask you which one of the following considers a non-argument, no arg constructor for a rectangle class. So no argument means the argument's empty. That's what I mean with it. Okay. Make sure you know how to copy, make a copy of an object. All right, in here. Couple of questions on that. Enum data type. Okay, things we talk about. All right, that's about it. Okay. All right.